The rain had been falling since dawn, the kind that soaked through shoes and made the city feel smaller, lonelier. At the edge of downtown, squeezed between a pawn shop and a closed cinema, stood a modest diner with flickering yellow lights. It wasn't famous, it wasn't fancy, but it was warm, and on nights like this, warmth meant everything. Outside the diner, sitting on a damp cardboard sheet near the door, was an old man wrapped in a torn gray coat. His beard was untrimmed, his hair matted from weeks without shelter, and his shoes had holes that let the rain kiss his skin. People walked past him without slowing. Some stared straight ahead. Others glanced at him and quickly looked away, as if kindness might cost them something. What no one knew was that the man on the cardboard was actually Nathaniel Crow, one of the richest CEOs in the country. A billionaire whose name sat on skyscrapers and stock exchanges. A man who could buy the entire block without blinking. But that night, Nathaniel wasn't there as a tycoon. He was there because he was tired. Tired of boardrooms where people smiled only when money entered the room. Tired of charity galas where kindness was measured by cameras. Tired of not knowing whether anyone around him would care if he had nothing to offer. So he shaved badly, wore old clothes, and stepped into the city as a homeless man, wanting to see the truth. Not reports. Not statistics. People. Inside the diner, a bell rang as customers came and went. The smell of fries and coffee filled the air. Behind the counter moved a teenage waitress named Lily Harper. She was 17, slight in build, with tired eyes that had seen too much for someone her age. Her uniform was clean but worn at the edges. She worked evening shifts every day after school, her paycheck helping her mother pay rent and medical bills. Lily had learned early that life didn't wait for you to be ready. She wiped a table, glanced toward the window, and noticed the old man sitting. Outside. Rain dripped from the diner's awning onto his shoulders. He hadn't asked for money. He hadn't knocked on the door. He just sat there, still and quiet. Her manager noticed him too. "Don't encourage them," he muttered from behind the counter. "If you give one something, they'll all come." Lily nodded, but her eyes stayed on the man. During her short break, she poured herself a coffee. She looked at her tips jar, barely enough for bus fare. She thought of her mother at home, coughing through the night, pretending everything was fine. She thought of how close she'd come to sitting outside places like this herself, if one paycheck went missing. When her break ended, Lily did something small that would later feel enormous. She grabbed a bowl, filled it with hot soup, added a roll of bread, and poured a cup of coffee with extra sugar. She wrapped it all carefully, took a deep breath, and stepped outside into the rain. Nathaniel noticed her shoes first, thin sneakers soaked through at the toes. Then he saw her face, unsure but determined. "Sir," she said softly, holding out the food. "I know it's raining. I thought you might be hungry." He looked up at her, surprised. Not at the food, but at the way she spoke. No pity. No fear. Just human to human. I don't have money," he said, testing her, his voice rough. "That's okay," Lily replied quickly. "This one's on me." He hesitated, then took the bowl with trembling hands. The soup was hot. Real hot. He hadn't expected that. "Thank you," he said, meaning it more than he'd meant anything in years. Lily smiled, a small tired smile. "If you need more, I get off in an hour." She turned back toward the diner, not knowing that the man behind her was watching like his world had just cracked open. Nathaniel ate slowly, savoring every spoonful, not because he was hungry, but because someone had seen him. An hour later, the rain eased. The dinner rush died down. Lily stepped outside again, this time with a paper bag. "I thought you might want this too," she said, handing it to him. Inside was a slice of pie, wrapped carefully. You didn't have to, Nathaniel said. I wanted to. They sat in silence for a moment, the city humming around them. Why do you help people like me? He asked. Lily shrugged. Because one day, I might be you. The words hit him harder than any business loss ever had. He looked at her more closely now. You're young. You should be saving for yourself. She laughed quietly. I am. Just not money. He smiled, genuinely this time. Before she left, Nathaniel reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled $20 bill, part of his disguise. Please, he said. For the food. Lily shook her head. No. If you want to pay me back, just promise me something. What's that? When life gets better for you, be kind to someone else. He nodded, throat tight. I promise. The next morning, the diner buzzed with confusion. Luxury cars lined the street. Men in suits stepped inside, followed by cameras. Lily stood frozen behind the counter, apron in hand. Then she saw him. Nathaniel Crowe walked in, clean-shaven, dressed in a tailored suit that probably cost more than her family's rent for a year. The room went silent. The manager rushed forward. Mr. Crowe. We didn't know you were coming. Nathaniel raised a hand. His eyes scanned the room until they found Lily. He walked toward her slowly, deliberately. Good morning, he said. Lily's face went pale. I'm sorry, sir. Did I do something wrong? Nathaniel smiled, the same smile from the night before, but clearer now. You did something very right. He turned to the stunned customers and staff. Last night, I sat outside this diner pretending to be homeless. Not one person spoke to me. Not one. He paused, then gestured to Lily. Except her. The room held its breath. She fed me. She talked to me. She treated me like I mattered. When she thought I had nothing to give her. Lily's hands trembled. Nathaniel reached into his briefcase and pulled out a document. Effective today, this diner is paid off. No rent. No debt. And, he added, looking at Lily, a full scholarship has been set up for Lily Harper. College, housing, everything covered. Gasps filled the room. Lily's knees nearly gave out. But, why? She whispered. Nathaniel leaned closer, so only she could hear. Because when I had everything, I forgot what kindness felt like. You reminded me. Tears streamed down Lily's face. He wasn't finished. I'm also launching a new foundation, he announced, run by people like her. People who give when it costs them something. As the cameras flashed, Nathaniel looked at Lily one last time and smiled. Thank you, he said. For seeing me. And in that small diner, on a street most people ignored, a teenage waitress proved that kindness doesn't come from wealth. It creates it.